Who cares? Right. Examples are only examples. But we've heard it. Insulin, you heard of that, right? Insulin's a protein. It's actually a couple polypeptide chains stuck together. Parathyroid hormone, PTH, is a hormone that is produced by parathyroid glands that helps regulate blood calcium levels. And we'll see it in action when we talk about some blood calcium regulation later in the term. What are some examples of steroid hormones? All derived from cholesterol ultimately. Okay, so we start with cholesterol, modify it. And it's interesting, you'll see how similar, I'll show you an example here in a minute, and you'll see how similar in structure some of these hormones are to each other. In fact, would you assume that testosterone and estrogen have very, very different effects on the body? Yeah, I would say so. Right. But yet their structure is incredibly similar. In fact, you make estrogen from testosterone. You females do. There's an enzyme called aromatase. It's kind of interesting. Okay. So anyhow, look at that. So even though they're all based on cholesterol, they differ by structure. Some of them are things like estrogen. Androgens are testosterone. There are a few active forms of testosterone. There are a couple active forms of estrogens that are produced too, very similar to each other. So that's why we often categorize things as estrogens and androgens. Androgens are these different forms of testosterone that can work. Now, this is what I want to focus on, but you can see that if we, this list here is a lot like this list here. That's because catecholamines are hydrophilic, so no big deal there, right? Don't try to memorize it. If you know that catecholamines are hydrophilic and you understand these things here, you can figure out what they need to do. Thyroid hormones, on the other hand, again, because they're hydrophobic, they tend to be just like this category here, hydrophobic. There are some examples, some exceptions, though, where you can make them in advance and store them. But that's kind of what we're looking at there. So does this kind of make sense based upon their chemistry? It should. Shouldn't be. And again, this really isn't anything different than we talked about on Wednesday. It's just looking at it a little bit more narrow now in scope to different kinds of hormones. Now,